And we are here to Friday Soccer Paycheck Special Edition. Early morning on this Friday, Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, broadcasting live from the Deep End Studios in Virginia Beach, Virginia, the United States of America. The beautiful shorelines of Virginia, drenched in rain today and entrenched in a mud bog fest. Greg Foley, this is soccer weather outside. Greg Foley joins us for the World Cup special edition. We have USA and England today. That's why we're coming on early, but we're going to go through everything with the World Cup, get you up to speed. We have one game on now, 1-0, getting ready to enter the second half. Senegal on top of the host nation, Qatar, and a full weekend of soccer, a lot more next week. And we will get up to date right now with Greg Foley. What's up, Greg? How's it going, man?
Hey, happy Black Friday, Steve. Good morning to you. A lot to cover here with the World Cup over the last week, isn't there?
You know what? We were pretty much, I think, for the most part, spot on a lot of things on how they were going to try to transpire. I think a big win for Iran this morning. Everyone is waking up late, Iran gets a red card awarded to them. So a red card against the Welsh goalie. So he comes out of the box, gets a high boot into the face of the Iranian. They send him off. And then with 9 minutes of extra time, right about the 98-minute mark, Iran strokes in the go-ahead goal. And then they get another breakaway right after that to go up 2-0. So 2 goals there in the last 2 minutes for Iran. And that place went berserk. So that is good news for the USA. Right, Greg, overall?
Well, I think the best result we could have asked for today would have been a 0-0 draw for those two. But the fact of the matter is it's going to come down to, for the USA, their game against Iran on Tuesday. If they win that game, they will, for all intents and purposes, be through, I think, to the second round. So today's game, not that it's meaningless, but a loss today doesn't affect the U.S. like it could. And all that's assuming that England gets it done against Wales. So it looks like it could just come down to England, U.S. against Iran for a spot in the second round on, I think that game's on Tuesday.
So you were talking to me before the show. Now the U.S., as big as this U.S.-England game is, right, it may not be as big in terms of what's at stake. Now, am I correct? You were telling me that it's not as important now, maybe. I don't know. The importance of this game today for the U.S. They just can't get blown away, correct?
There's 2 levels of importance or 2 degrees of it. It is important to the country, to the game, to the soccer.
Yes.
It's not as important in the group standings as it could be. So again, because we get to play. Had it gone the other way and had Wales won today, that could have really hurt us. But because Iran wins, we get a shot against Iran to make it right on Tuesday. So it does make today's game, when it comes to just the standings in this Group Group B, a little bit less meaningful. But in the world of U.S. soccer and world soccer, it's still a huge game.
All right. So big game today. That's 2:00 Eastern Standard Time. I got to get some anti-shake mechanisms for this camera so know that any extra table shaking over there, Mr. Foley, will add to the a shaky broadcast, perhaps. Okay, so I think the thing to do is this. Let's go ahead and recap what we have group for group. And in fact, I'll go ahead and throw up the odds of where we stand now for everyone to win the World Cup so you can get up to date on that. The actual live. So right now, as far as that goes... Oh, man, they didn't give me the best screenshot. Okay, I'll redo that one. Sorry, my bad. I thought I had a nice graphic up here, Greg, but they cut off the top. So let's get rid of that, and I'll mess with that at the break. Okay, so the thing to do is this. Let's go through the groups, see where we stand right now, group by group. We'll go into Group A, give a little recap of what we've had going on. and we will go from there. So Group A, Senegal now a 2-0 lead in the second half. Did you see that? So Senegal, they opened up the second half with a goal. They were winning 1-0 at halftime. They were in the 50th minute. So 2-0 Senegal over Qatar. Another game in Group A happens today. The Netherlands and Ecuador. The Netherlands will be a -120 favorite, plus 380 for Ecuador. Let's just start with that one since we talked about this game. The Netherlands and Ecuador. This should be one the Netherlands could somewhat win by a couple goals. Greg, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think the Netherlands goes and takes this one either 2-1 or 2-0. They do put a great offensive show in. Do they all hit the back of the net? I don't know, but I think when we walk away from this game, we will see and say that Netherlands is a quality team who did some real damage today to Ecuador.
So with the win by the Netherlands today, then they'll put a stranglehold onto Group A, and then should be likely the winner after that. And so if they beat Ecuador will have the 1 win, 1 loss. Qatar's on their way to 2 losses. Senegal will be 1-1, but they've had the head-to-head loss to the Netherlands already. If they would go ahead and if Senegal beats Ecuador, so at this point, Netherlands is an overwhelming favorite to win this group, right?
The way that this group looks to me is it's gonna end the way that I thought it was at the beginning. Netherlands, Ecuador, Senegal, Qatar.
Yeah, and in fact we picked that for an exact order.
That is the exact order.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So we picked that for an exact order: Netherlands, Ecuador, Senegal, Qatar. So we have some tickets that are in good shape because of that. Okay, Group B, we already talked about that mostly already. So England, the U.S., Iran, and Wales. Iran with that great victory this morning over Wales. Again, if you're just tuning into us, that was the 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time kickoff, deep into extra time. Iran gets on the board late in the game. The Welsh to get a red card. So the goalie came out, high boots, and a fantastic strike from beyond the box for Iran. And then they follow up with a second goal on the breakaway. So Iran beat Wales. That's something we called as well on the show. We talked about Wales being last. And man, I feel like we're kind of being deprived because we kind of liked the Welsh to get 0 points in the group. They got the draw against the USA. That late goal and that stupid penalty by the U.S. I never played that, but at 11-1 odds for Wales for no points, we weren't too far off in that. And we're going to have the exact order right here too, Greg, for the most part, as long as England goes through and beats the USA today, probably.
It's an interesting thing what the Iranian result does today for the U.S. in that it could serve to take all pressure off the U.S. because of what I just said earlier. It's still going to come down to It's always going to come down to Iran against the U.S. on Tuesday. So today, maybe there's no pressure. They play free. They have a game where there is little thought. They're just doing it all by rote, and they end up pulling off the upset. What would that do for our exact order? Yeah, it would hurt it. But still, where we're fortunate in that is that that goal differential could come into play at that point. You never know. Although we're with that tie, it's going to be hard to tie England on points because we expect them to beat Wales. So oddly enough, our exact order does rely on England winning today and U.S. winning on Tuesday, which I think is highly probable.
Do you think we get a lot of goals in this England-U.S. game? The English look like we'll debate this in a minute when we go after all the groups. But, man, they look like the best team right now.
They look great. I think if the U.S. is going to score a lot of goals, they are going to be goals that are answers to England goals. Because I think once the Three Lions gets on the board, they could clamp it down if they wanted to. And maybe we don't see any shots on goal. So it depends on when these goals are scored. But I do think if it's going to be a 3-2, a 2-1 even, the goal from the U.S. is going to be a response to England having scored. And I think that England will then answer that with another response. And again, it'll feel like England has a grip on the game the whole time.
Likely that England gets 3 or more goals.
Yeah, that's likely.
How about 4?
No.
So you think 3 is basically their threshold?
3, yeah.
And if they get 3, then it's clamp down time. Let's just get on out of here.
Well, if they get 3, I think it will be what I said. It'll be, they'll be up 2-0. USA scores. England comes back with 1. if there's not a need to score, England won't. They'll sit back and hold their lead and take their 3 points in the bracket.
The one thing I see about England, though, is I feel like when they bring off the talent off the bench, when they start to sit players, those guys want to score too. Yeah, you know,
they are a hungry bunch of lions. That's the facts.
Okay, so England with the win today will have the complete stranglehold on Group B. So we'll see how this transpires. Still some games to settle things there, especially Tuesday, big game, Iran and the USA. Okay, Group C, Poland, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, and Mexico. No doubt one of the biggest upsets in World Cup history was the Saudis beating Argentina. We were talking about the refereeing earlier, Greg. You're not going to hate on it as much as I was on that morning anyway. But I think we both had the same point. At least if you have VAR, use it. I mean, when are we going to use it? When are we not going to use it? There seems to be plenty of the same circumstances where it is used or it isn't used. They should just always take a look if there's a question, correct?
I don't disagree with that. The technology is there. I think the most glaring example of not using VAR when perhaps they should have was it happened this morning to Cutter. Looked like I got run over in the box. The ref only has one angle, and from his angle, he didn't feel that way. But we now have the ability to have multiple angles. Let's use that ability. It's a game changer if they go to that VAR this morning. Maybe Cutter's up 1-0, and we don't see a 2-0 lead from Senegal. So I'm not that critical of the refereeing this World Cup. However, there were some instances in the Argentina game and certainly this afternoon or this morning's game in which I thought they should have gone to VAR in an attempt to get it right.
Okay, let me update. Sorry, a little slight multitasking here.
It's interesting when you bring up
updated here.
When you bring up Group C and how it's sort of standing on its head right now. Because if you look at it now, it's Saudi, Poland, Mexico, and Argentina in that order. Mm-hmm. I still think it's likely it finishes the exact opposite of how it stands after match day one, and that it ends up Argentina, Mexico, Poland, Saudi Arabia. Not too far-fetched for that to happen. I expect Argentina to win its next 2 games against Mexico and Poland. I expect Mexico to beat Saudi Arabia. I expect Poland to beat Saudi Arabia. You know, when these things start to happen, it looks like that group still could finish in the order that I think we predicted.
And I think my biggest play on this group was just that Saudi Arabia does finish last. So that's still a very good likelihood that that's going to happen, right? Even with the win.
You're right about that. In fact, where I put my money was not an exact on this group. It was just Saudi finishing in last. And I do think that if it works out that way, they can still finish last with 3 points. It's not easy to do, but you can still in this particular group, they could finish last with 3 points.
And right now, to finish last, Saudi Arabia is paying plus 230, so better than what it was last week. So if you want to get on board on some kind of new parlay mid-group stages here, then Saudi Arabia plus 230 to finish last in that group. Might not be a bad deal. And in fact, everyone's right there. Poland's plus 200 to finish last. Mexico plus 230. Argentina plus 340. I'm going to take that game exactly for what I think that it was. It was a fluke with the Saudis beating Argentina. I think Argentina rebounds. Here's the other thing too, Greg. If we can get the straight forecast correct here, then we're getting paid really good money on Argentina to finish first. Argentina first, Mexico second is plus 650. Did you say you liked Argentina, Mexico? Is that how you think it's going to play out?
Well, let's think about how it's going to play. I think it's going to come down to in this group is who between Mexico and Poland is going to beat Saudi Arabia by more, and who of those two is going to lose to Argentina by less.
Right.
So let's just say that they both lose Argentina 2-0. So now we're sitting at 2 teams that have the identical sort of structure there, the identical record there. How badly can they beat Saudi Arabia? And I think that it is. I mean, you've got so many goal scorers, world-class goal scorers on, one on each team for sure in Lewandowski with Poland, pick your poison there with Mexico. They can put points on the board. It will make for 2 interesting games as they play the Saudis, Mexico and Poland. I think Mexico comes away on top of that if that's what it comes down to. So I do think it's Argentina, Mexico in that one, 1-2.
So we talked about doing something like this the last time you were on. You could do this as a straight forecast, you could take 2 bets and have it pay off for you pretty good. So you could take Argentina first, Mexico second at plus 650. And you could also bet Argentina first, Poland second at plus 750. And you basically sacrifice one of those bets as a loss. But as long as Argentina won and either Poland or Mexico 2, then if you put $100 on each one of those, then the minimum you're gonna win either 550 or 650, depending on which one does what. You'll lose that $100 bet, but you will win the other $100 bet, and the payout on that will cover the losses of the other one significantly. So Argentina, if you think they can still finish first, you can take Argentina first, Mexico second at plus 650, and then you could also take Argentina first, Poland second at plus 750, and play both sides of the coin. Now, if Argentina doesn't finish first, it ends up something else, then that's a whole nother story.
Well, of course, we don't want to hear this, but there are 3 sides to that coin. Sadly, there is the Saudi Arabia side. So I don't think that's a legitimate side. I think those bets right there and the way that you hedge them is, I think that's guaranteed money. I can't imagine Saudi Arabia having any more to say in this World Cup.
In fact, Argentina, the Saudi Arabia straight forecast is plus 430. So maybe just a little too much credit for the Saudis here in Group C. And I think I like that straight forecast, and I would compound that with the plus 230 for the Saudis to still finish in last place. Okay, let's go to Group D. Let's take a look at how that's going. I think that's pretty much going to be one game's going to decide that, and that's going to happen tomorrow. Basically, that's how this group's going to be decided. Tunisia, Australia, France, and Denmark. Tunisia and Australia will be the 5 a.m. kickoff tomorrow morning on a Saturday. So if you don't feel like waking up to watch early World Cup soccer, then that's probably one of the games to miss for sure, right? But the 11 o'clock game, France and Denmark, minus 135 for France, plus 400 on the comeback for Denmark, 260 if they hit the draw. Basically, the winner of this game will go ahead and win this group, correct?
Well, I'd say correct because France is going to be the winner of that game. I think this group, much like Group C, comes down to between Tunisia and Denmark, who is going to beat Australia by more. Because I think they both take a loss to France. And again, who's going to protect themselves in a loss against France?
Right.
I think they both lose to France and they both beat Australia. Now we're talking about it's really going to come down to goal differential when it comes to these two, Tunisia and Denmark. So I don't think France loses here. I think it's going to be Denmark taking the loss tomorrow with Tunisia getting the win, and then they'll flip that script when they play next, and we're going to be looking at goal differential between Denmark and Tunisia to see who pushes through.
Okay. All right. So big game tomorrow there in Group D. If you like to straight forecast still, I have France 1, Denmark 2. That is now minus 125. I think we're minus 105 or minus 110 or
I got it at the 105 minus 105 is where
okay, so that has increased a little bit there on the favorite side. If you like France, Tunisia, then plus 280 for that. I think you just kind of hold firm to where you're at in this group and let it play out. I mean, that'll be my strategy going forward. Anything really interests you else in this group, Greg? Let me see. Australia to finish with 0 points is plus 200 right now still.
That sounds like an interesting one because I don't see Australia, again, like Saudi Arabia. Australia has nothing more to say, although Australia had nothing to say at the beginning. But, yeah, I don't think Australia is going to make any noise. They could easily come away with no points here.
And Australia to finish in last place is actually minus 320. So that's a big difference from finishing just last place at minus 320 to getting 0 points at plus 200. At that point, you just take the risk that they finish with 0 points, right?
Sure thing.
Okay. All right. Group E. This has been a fun group so far. Japan, they had the great win over Germany. Spain, they flexed their muscles completely over Costa Rica. And when I talk about fun, I mean fun if you were rooting for lots of goals for the Spanish side, as I was. They managed to put up 7 goals. You know what? I almost bet. I was trying to look for a number on Spain over 6.5. They didn't have it. So I was limited to over 5.5. But we banged that one home.
Well, what I was looking for last week, and I couldn't find it anywhere, was I wanted to bet that Spain would outscore the New York Jets, and I just couldn't get anybody to take it. But it happened, believe it or not, it happened.
All right, so we'll start. This is going to be Sunday games the next time this group gets back together. Japan, man, they play. We called that last week too, Greg. They play fast. They're feisty. They're aggressive to the ball. Quick. They just make things happen. And really caught. I don't know if they caught the Germans off guard or not, or they were just basically at the end wanted it more and outwilled them. But it seemed like Japan just wanted that game a lot more when they played Spain.
Yeah, I not only say that we not only called it, I played it, and it paid 7 to what it plays 70 to 7 to 1 on that.
Oh,
so,
nice.
It was a nice payout, and I think that game played out how we said it would last week. That even if Germany got up early, the frenetic pace and the Japan's pace would be able to put them in a position where they could score 2 goals after submitting one or surrendering one. So I don't think that game didn't take me by surprise one bit. It played out how I thought it would.
Are you so the line for the Spain-Germany game, Spain is plus 135, Germany plus 190, and a draw is plus 250. I feel like that's a cheap number for the Spanish. You're getting plus money back to take Spain to beat Germany. Do you see Spain beating Germany? And if so, do you see them beating them somewhat convincingly? They've beaten them 6-0 here in recent years, right?
They have. They've had Germany's number. This was a group I said last week I didn't even like to touch because there was so many things that could go on here. One of them now is, does Spain care if they win or tie against Germany? Because I think they have confidence that they can put up a touchdown in the World Cup, and do they just take the tie and know, yeah, we're going to come through on this, or are they going to try to outplay themselves or outdo themselves from last result? I don't think Germany is going to surrender 6 goals, 5 goals, 4 goals. It'll be a tight match that I think Spain gets it done, but they don't get it done convincingly like we saw them against Costa Rica. You're looking at more of a 2-1 affair, but Spain does get it done, and Germany goes into I think Germany gets put out of the World Cup in a 2-0 loss here to Spain. That's what I think what happens.
Wow. Okay. Nice. The Costa Rica, do you think they allow lots of goals to Japan?
I do. I think that they allow as many as Japan's willing to score. I mean, again, it's the same thing. Japan's just going to come at them the whole time. Maybe they get up 3-0 and try a different tactic, just almost as a practice run because they're in the World Cup, and why not get it done that way? But Japan beats Costa Rica, which is where Germany's fate is sealed. And Spain beats Germany, Japan beats Costa Rica, and it's Japan and Spain going through.
Okay, so the exact order odds right now: Spain, Japan, Germany, Costa Rica is a favorite of minus 140. I was paying a lot more money last week.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
But that's still a pretty good bet, to be honest. Right? I feel like that's almost a give me at this point. Spain, Japan, Germany, Costa Rica at minus 140. I could throw that on the parlay.
We've got to ask yourself, where is Germany going to get its 3 points that it needs to overtake Japan? And how is Japan going to stay at 3 points? If we give Costa Rica, just give them to everybody. They're going to lose to Germany. They're going to lose to Japan. So they're saying, and when you talk about that, for Germany to finish in third, their result needs to be a draw at least, or a win against Spain. I don't see it. So that's why I say that seems to be written already, that it is Spain, Japan, Germany, and Costa Rica.
So to finish in the last place, Costa Rica is minus 4,000. And they won't even offer you odds on Costa Rica to get 0 points, because I figure I guess that's giving away money if you're doing that at any odds, right?
Are there odds out there that Costa Rica just leaves Qatar and goes home? Has that ever happened?
Let's go to Group F: Belgium, Morocco, Croatia, Canada. It's interesting group here. The Canadians, man, it seemed like they played so hard. They were so bad with their finishing product. I mean, they were striking the ball and it was going 30 feet over the goal in some circumstances against Belgium. I'm going to be extra bitter because if we would have had goals in the Canada-Belgium game, which ended 1-0 Belgium, I needed to get to 4 goals, then I would have had a monstrous payday already in the World Cup. But I was denied. Morocco, Croatia in there as well. Wow. I mean, let's see. The odds for this group, Belgium are minus 195, the favorite now. Croatia plus 350. Morocco is plus 650. And Canada all the way down there at 17-1 odds. Odds to qualify, Belgium minus 950. Croatia minus 135. Morocco plus 145. Canada plus 270. Besides Belgium, in my mind, probably being the top finisher as they are the favorite now in the group, I'm going to assume Belgium goes ahead and wins this group. I don't know. How do you see the rest of this group shaking out the rest of the way?
I think it's a safe assumption that Belgium goes on to win Group F.
Yep.
But when you look at a group like Group F, and we talked about 2 other groups earlier, they have the same sort of setup, and it's the 3-1-1-0 setup where there's a team on top with 3, 2 with 1, and then 1 with 0. Those other 2 groups, they were a D and a C. Those were both questions of how badly are these 2 0 teams, or how badly are these 2 teams going to lose? Costa Rica and I think Saudi was the other one where it has that set up. Not Costa Rica, I'm sorry. It's Saudi Arabia and Australia. But now we're talking about that team as being Canada. It's not the same situation here because I think Canada can beat Morocco. They can beat Croatia. The Morocco-Croatia tie sets up nicely for, again, this thing to be wide open. Canada can come, and team's going to come through on this probably with 4 points, one of these teams. And it's just a matter of this little mini tournament now between Croatia, Canada, and Morocco. How does Canada fare against Morocco and Croatia? I still think they can get it done. You saw the finishing was the problem. If that's the only problem, that can be tweaked. The way they played, the spirit with which they played, they just didn't play well, in the final third, really, is where they didn't get it done. If they can prove to get that done against Morocco and Croatia, they can still go through. This one, again, it could be this North American hopefulness, but Belgium, Canada, Croatia, Morocco could be a way this thing finishes out.
That's what I'm looking at right here, and that's 7-1 odds. So plus 700 on that. So let's do this because we're going to take a break after this group. We'll finish our last 2 groups, and then we'll talk about the knockout stage coming up, what we expect to see there. Let's see. So Group F, we're going to take that straight forecast of what you said. Belgium, Canada, Croatia, Morocco. Going to rewind back to Group E. And what did we like here in Group E? Did we have anything specific here? Costa Rica to finish last place. That's an obvious one. I think we'll skip that. Group D.
Well, when we get back to Group E, though, I think we felt strongly that it would finish Spain, Japan, Germany, Costa Rica.
Okay. All right.
I don't, at least I did. I don't see where Germany's going to make up.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Spain, Japan, Germany, Costa Rica. That's minus 140.
Right.
Okay. All right. France, Denmark, minus 125. We'll take that. Group C, we were talking about Argentina. We're talking about Saudi Arabia finishing last, right?
Yeah, and that
and then we had a straight forecast too of Argentina, Mexico, Poland, Saudi Arabia.
It was Argentina, Mexico, Poland, Saudi Arabia was the straight prediction there. Yeah,
that's 13-1 odds right now.
And again, I just see, when you talk about a path to that, it's a fairly predictable path to that, in that Argentina gets it done twice against Poland and Mexico. Both Poland and Mexico get it done against Saudi Arabia, which means you've got Saudi Arabia sitting with 3, Poland with 4, Mexico with 4, Argentina with the winning 6. So for Saudi Arabia to finish last is not that unheard of, and for it to finish in the order of Argentina, Mexico, Poland, Saudi, you say it's coming off at 13-1.
Yep,
I like that.
Yeah, okay. And then let's see. Most of the odds are off the board in Group B because of the games today, and then Group A, everything's off the board as well. Senegal still 2-0, 74th minute they lead Qatar. Okay, so we're going to stop with this bet. So 4 plays on this. Maybe we can add to it after the break. So first place, Belgium, second, Canada, third, Croatia, fourth, Morocco, plus 700. France, Denmark, minus 125. That's straight order. Spain, Japan, Germany, Costa Rica, minus 140. That looks like the obvious one there. And at 13-1 odds, we have Argentina, Mexico, Poland, Saudi Arabia. And if we put our $10 on that, that's going to pay $3,446.
The only thing I disagree with when you said, I think you said the word if. And that's more of a when situation. So get that money down on that quickly.
Yeah. We're going to have to invest on that here right after the show. Okay. Let's go ahead and I'll cue up the music. We'll go ahead and take a break because me and Mr. Foley need to rest for a second. We will go to a commercial and we will be back right after this. Group G, Group H. We'll look at the odds to win it all. See what we got on some golden booters, stuff like that. We'll be right back. Ring in the holidays with the round robin with two special holiday editions. First off, on Thanksgiving, we will broadcast live at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, discussing all three of the Week 12 NFL football games. Then a very special Week 15 broadcast live from our Deep End Christmas party on Sunday morning, December the 18th, from 8:30 until 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at CP Shucker's Shore Drive location in Virginia Beach, Virginia, USA. Breakfast, refreshments, specials, and more. Join us for the live show on Sunday morning, December the 18th, from 8:30 until 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great Thanksgiving and a great holiday season.
This is the Deep End Broadcasting Network.
Know your gambling limits. Don't ever bet what you can't cover. Wagering on sports is only fun when you do it the right way. Not every bet will win. When you get on a bad run, know it and avoid trouble. Know your gambling limits.
Dependable Solutions can provide all voiceover services for your advanced audio production needs. Think of us as an inexpensive option, no matter what the size of the project is. From one-word cameos to full script productions, contact Dependable Solutions at 757-354-5517.
Control your alcohol. Don't fight. Don't drink and drive. Your one punch could kill someone. It happens. If you're behind the wheel, you may think you are fine, but then the other driver is under the influence of texting, and then you are done. Control your alcohol.
Tired of your swimming pool's diatomaceous earth pool filter? The constant cleaning, green pool, cloudy water? I thought this was supposed to be clean. Trust your swimming pool's water quality with a custom sand filter install. A clean, easy solution for your swimming pool operations. Contact Dependable Solutions at 757-354-5517.
Hey, does your home have algae or stains on the siding? Is there grime built up on your deck or brick patio? Coastal Pressure Washing Services has a warranty of professional services. From pressure washing to window cleaning to deck and fence staining, as well as dryer vent cleaning, you got it all. Call Coastal Pressure Washing at area code 757-439-9810 or visit our website at coastalpressurewashing.net. Again, call Coastal Pressure Washing at area code 757-439-9810 or visit our website at coastalpressurewashing.net.
Do you want to advertise with Deep End Broadcasting? Send us an email at deepend757@yahoo.com. That's deepend757@yahoo.com. It is estimated that 23% of car accidents each year involve a cell phone. That's 1.3 million accidents a year. Reaching for your phone, you are 4 times more likely to crash. Dialing on your phone, 2.8 times more likely to crash. And texting on your phone, you are 23 times more likely to crash. Attentive drivers are safe drivers.
This is the Deep End Broadcasting Network.
New score in the game right now: Senegal 2, Qatar 1. So that game tightens up. They have about 15 minutes in regular time, and then whatever, the dozen or so extra minutes. How about that, Greg? How about all the extra time that you've seen so far? I mean, that's going to be a nuisance if you are an under better on goals, because you have now, in some cases, like an extra 25 minutes to contend with of extra time instead of maybe like the 7, 8, 9, or 10. I mean, you're talking about an extra 15 minutes in some cases. That's plenty of time to add goals into the net.
It's something to consider, though. I like it. I like the fact that we are adding on the time when it's necessary. So I don't mind it one bit. It makes for exciting time, but you're right. You have to consider that. But at the same time, remember that this isn't it's added time. It's not extra time. This is time that's awarded. They
added time.
They try to play it for 90 minutes, and they sort of
extra time would be after the draw.
Yeah, extra time would be after the 90. So when we talk about added time, we just have to remember that it's just trying to get, and FIFA did crack down on this for this World Cup, and in a discussion with the referees told them, we want to get 90 minutes of play. So it says, think about it. When there's a goal scored, you're looking at, that's almost a minute and a half, really, in a game like this where the celebration is off the charts. So you're looking at a minute and a half every time a goal is scored. We have to consider that when we look at these 9 and 7 minute ads. If it's a 2-0 game, 3 of those minutes are for goals. And these guys they're not 14-year-olds getting told to hustle off the field when they get subbed out. These guys are taking their sweet and precious time, and they should. They're on a World Cup pitch. It's a great experience for everybody. So I'm a fan of the extra time or the added time. I've never thought that rule in world soccer has been applied correctly. We seem to have fewer added minutes than we should.
Group G: Serbia, Cameroon, Brazil, and Switzerland. I think the goal of the tournament was by Rich Arlison yesterday for Brazil. You saw that goal, right?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the goal. That has to be the goal of the tournament. Do you agree with that?
So far, for sure, but it's a long tournament, and I hope to see something better. Although that was special, just always nice to see.
So if you didn't see it and you're listening out there, I'll try to explain what happened. The cross kind of came in from the side. Rich Arlison, who is the Tottenham forward, okay, so he's a goal scorer. Played for Everton last year, but on the Brazilian national team, he was trying to kind of control the ball to the ground, maybe make a play on it. But the ball popped up off his left foot and kind of went straight up in the air, almost as that was probably not planned. I'm thinking he was trying to control the ball to the ground and make a maneuver. Maybe this was in his repertoire the whole time. But he popped the ball up with his left foot, and with his back to the net, he kind of did this giant flip. I hear a lot of commotion in this soccer game. Someone must have scored. I heard a giant backflip. He did like a kind of scissor backflip kick type of dealio and slammed that ball home. Go back and watch the highlight. I can't do justice trying to explain what happened, but that was incredible, Greg. Right?
It's what
Let me check this TV real quick, see if I can get an update. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's what you said. It was a phenomenal goal. I think it wasn't originally. I think it was a misplay by Rick Carlson, but it turned into something beautiful. By far, without a doubt, the goal of the tournament, and it is what Brazilian fans love, and that it was beautiful soccer. And I think what Steve's about to report us is that Senegal probably added another goal, making it 3-1
on their breakaway. Pass right up into the center, and a clean strike home on the blast. Senegal 3, Qatar 1.
Yeah, that the only reason that bums me out is because it's expected. Senegal's a much better team than Qatar, but it would have been nice to see the last impression of that match be Qatar's first ever World Cup goal. That would have been good to see. It was answered. It's 3-1. I don't think anybody expected anything different.
So tell me if you like this bet. I have Senegal over 2.5 goals cashed. So this is a 3-game parlay. I have the next game. Who's our next game? That's
the 11 o'clock.
Yeah. That is Netherlands, right? Isn't that who plays?
Yeah, waking up at 5 every morning to watch soccer really confuses me when I think, wait a minute, because you hear the announcers talking about tonight, and I'm thinking tonight, geez, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, the next game is Netherlands, Ecuador, and then of course that's followed by the.
I took a shot at Netherlands -2. 3-0 is the score that sticks in my head for that game. Now I could just do the over goals for Netherlands or try that, but I'm going to be convinced that they are better than Ecuador and they could actually blow them out. I'm going to take that chance. So I have that at -2 with the Senegal, and then I have England over 2.5 goals for them.
Okay, so something to remember on that. You've already placed it, so just something to think about is that, and this is what's so interesting and intricate about World Cup soccer is that the Senegal result today, putting them 2 goals up on Senegal,
Right?
Qatar,
that changes.
That evens out their goal differential. I think that puts them now at a 0 goal differential with 3 points. They're on level points with Netherlands, the Dutch from Holland. But what that does for either Ecuador or Netherlands, they do want to win this game. A draw doesn't mean as much now because they are level on points with Senegal starting the game. They want to see a result that separates them more so from Senegal than would a draw. So both teams, I think, are going to be looking for a win. When that happens, goals can be scored in either direction.
Okay. All right. See, that's why we have Mr. Foley on here, guys, because he can break it down just like that. Okay. Back to Group G. I don't think we finished up in here. Yeah, we're talking about the Rich Arlison goal. So Brazil, they are the declarative favorite right now. The -1,000 to win it all. Switzerland is +800. Serbia +4,900. Cameroon, 100 to 1 shot to come back and win. So we'll look at the straight forecast. I mean, is it just that simple? Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia, Cameroon?
I think it's that simple.
Okay, so +155 on that, and we'll add that onto our ticket, and we'll see how this ticket just jumped big time on that. So Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia, Cameroon is at +155. Let's see what we got for the last place here team. Bottom place, Cameroon is -450 right now. So that, I mean, if you have a long extended parlay of some of these last place teams, feel free to throw Cameroon in there. They'll just bump it up a little bit more, but there's no way that they don't finish last, right?
Yeah, I think I might have misspoken a minute ago when I said this would look this way. I want to make sure I was clear. I think it's going to look Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia, Cameroon.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's definitely.
Yes.
I think that's how it looks. It's Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia, Cameroon to finish last, because I think Serbia takes it to Cameroon and gets it done there.
So +155 for that bet. Yes.
Okay,
Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia, and Cameroon. Let's go ahead and go to Group H. That's simple enough. South Korea, Ghana, Portugal, and Uruguay. And the Portugal-Ghana game goes 0-0 until about the 65th minute. And then they put 5 goals up to finish that game. Wow, what if you took like an exotic over 4.5 goals in that game, Greg? I mean, you chalked that up as a loss. You went out, you're done. And you came back home and looked at your account. And you're like, what the hell happened?
Right. That was not a sweat because you left. There was no sweating that. That was one of those things where you just came back and was like, wow, I'm wealthy now. Yeah, that was an interesting game. Something that happened out of that game I always found interesting is Ronaldo joins Merita as the only human beings to score in 5 World Cups. That's impressive to be around for 5 World Cups, to be relevant and to put in goals. That's impressive.
Okay, so let's see. Portugal -310 is the favorite now. Uruguay's getting paid good if they can somehow win this +450. South Korea is at +1,000. Ghana, 32 to 1 odds. The straight forecast here of Portugal, Uruguay is +145 just for them two. You don't have to worry about the last place, guys. But I think if we go to Portugal, Uruguay, South Korea, Ghana is at +320. Is that how this group goes? Is that what you would look at?
I was looking at the group when you said I want to be. Here's what I think the group goes. I think the group goes Portugal, Uruguay, South Korea, Ghana.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
That's so +320 on that.
Okay. I like that.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go with that. And Ghana, if you want them to be the last place team, let's just clarify that. -150. So good payout there for Ghana. And, the upset dog there would be South Korea if that happens. We're going to give faith to Sun Min Young from Tottenham that he can carry his team to a victory over Ghana at least. Okay, so let's check out this ticket. You ready to get your mind blown out, Greg?
Well, let me blow your mind out with this first.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
On South Korea's starting 11, there are only 5 last names, believe it or not.
Wow.
That is something that I found to be interesting. But either way, go right ahead with that. That blows my mind. But now blow my mind with the money you're about to make on this ticket.
Okay. First play on this ticket, exact order. Belgium, Canada, Croatia, Morocco. Will you agree there, right? We've already talked about.
Yeah, we agree with it. But of all of the pieces of this bet, I think that's the one that is the least solid. Okay. I still think it goes that route.
It's the least. So yes. We're taking a chance.
But we're going with that one. Yeah.
Okay. France, Denmark, 1-2.
Easy.
All right. Spain, Japan, Germany, Costa Rica.
Yes.
Argentina, Mexico, Poland, Saudi Arabia. Taking a chance there with Mexico. But the other thing we can do is we can play Poland second, Mexico third on another ticket with the same exact other place.
You got to because that one right there is when you hedge that bet, it's money that you're going to get paid 13 to 1 on either one. If one wins, you're golden. So take that.
You just need the one ticket to win.
That's right.
And you have 2 different chances just because of this obscure order here. Let's see. And if you wanted to, as an insurance policy, you could probably mess around with Croatia and Canada in the same regard too, right? You could switch them around maybe and take a chance that way in the group with Belgium and Morocco, group F.
You could, but group F, that scenario isn't as locked as I think it is for group C with the Argentina Saudi thing. So you could do it, but I think with the Mexico Poland hedge, you're making it right, guaranteed there.
Okay, all right. So Mexico, Poland, or flip flop them in the other bet. Argentina first, Saudis last.
Always.
Okay. Exact order, Group G on this ticket: Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia, Cameroon.
Yes.
And then in Group H, exact order: Portugal, Uruguay, South Korea, Ghana.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. This $10 ticket pays $37,003.76.
Of course it does. That's going to be an exciting ticket to watch. It'll be more exciting to cash out, but it will be exciting to watch either way.
Yeah. Famous bettor Mr. X once said, it's great to win, but it's even better when you get paid out.
No question about that. I will say this much. My least favorite thing about that ticket is how early on it can be crushed, because Canada can crush that thing early if they don't produce against Croatia or Morocco. But I just see them producing. I really do. They just need to finish. I'm sure they're spending all their time in their training sessions in the upper third.
So at this point, you just become a fan of the CONCACAF teams of Canada and Mexico, really. As long as Canada and Mexico do good things for you, then this is the way this is going to end up. And Argentina will need them to rebound as well.
And they will.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's a good ticket there. Let's go ahead and look at. That's a good review of all the stages and all the groups there. Let's go ahead and look at the team futures. Right now, Brazil is plus 210 to win it all. Spain plus 650. France plus 650. England plus 650. Argentina still up there at plus 850. Portugal plus 1,200. The Netherlands plus 1,200. Belgium plus 2,200. Starts to drop off. Germany plus 2,700. Denmark plus 3,800. And now we start to really go down the board. Plus 5,500 for Uruguay. Other notables, Japan, 100-1 shot right now to win it all. It might not be a bad idea to put $10 just on Japan straight up to win this thing, right?
There's a better idea. Where's the U.S. on that? Where's those $10 going? How much is that going to pay me?
U.S. is 150-1 to win it all.
Well, you heard it here first. Put that money on Japan at 100-1 because I think that's a better shot there. But when you mention those, the one that really still sticks out in my mind that is interesting is I think you said they're going off at plus 850, and that's Argentina.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't put any credence into what happened to Argentina the other day. I don't think that's going to be a reflection of their next 2 games or the next potentially 4 after that. So I say Argentina plus 850 is a really nice, that's a nice look.
Okay, so that's a good lesson for everyone out there. Don't let the Argentina loss to the Saudis, don't let that taint your vision of the future there. The path for them to win this all is still right there in front of them.
That and the path to Saudi finishing last in that group is still there. I just think that was an anomaly that couldn't, and shouldn't happen again.
All right, let's see here. Player futures. Rich Arlison, right now, he's the Golden Boot leader. We talked about his great goal. He's had a couple goals already, plus he's had 3 goals, actually. So plus 650 for him. Mbappe is plus 700. Messi is there at plus 1,100. Giroud is at a 10-1. Ferran Torres, he's having a good tournament so far. 14-1. Harry Kane, 16-1. Ronaldo, 16-1. Bukayo Saka, he has 2 goals. That might be someone to take a shot at right now. He has been a very, very good player for England and has had a great year in the Premier League. 18-1 odds for Saka. Neymar's 25-1. Anyone I've talked about or anyone else down the list there, Greg, that you're looking at to revise your Golden Boot getters, or do you still like the players you had last week? What are you looking in terms of this?
Let me ask you, you said that Richarlison, you said he's on 3 goals, or was he was 3-1?
I think he scored. So Brazil's played
once, and they won 2.
They won 1. No, so they have 2 goals. Yes,
but I think he may have both those goals.
He has 2 goals in a game. For whatever reason, I was thinking they already played so much soccer. I was thinking that was their second game, and he had one in the first game. But you're correct; they just have that one.
So he's on 2 goals with one other. So they're leading the Golden Boot race now. I still think that Memphis Dupuis is going to explode at some point. And of course, why wouldn't I say that? I said it last week.
And you're going to get better odds on him now. 65-1 odds now on him.
Is that what it is now?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think he's still there. We're looking at what are we looking at? 5, 6 guys that have 2 goals right now, right? So we have
everyone's within striking distance.
Sure. And the question is, when you look at the Golden Boot winner, is it going to come from Iran? It's unlikely, because I don't know that Iran gets out of the first round. Is it going to come from Ecuador, England, Spain, France, and Brazil? It's looking like that, because these guys are probably going to go into the tournament deeper than Iran, certainly. So right now, obviously, the good money the easy money's on Richarlison, but these are only 2 goals, and I think, like I said, I'm still going with Dupuis at 65-1. Why not?
If you were to predict a final matchup right now, what 2 teams? What are 2 teams?
I think what I'm looking at is, again, I like Argentina a lot. I still do. Their biggest issue is having to go through Brazil, because if you look at Argentina, if they do what I think they're going to do, they'll end up playing Denmark in the first round of the round of 16. They'll have to look at Netherlands or US after that. So there's Argentina, and then I think if they do that, then I do think you're looking at France and Argentina. Coming from the other bracket would be France.
Okay. France, Argentina. All right, go ahead and give me an exact score of the US England game today.
3-1 England.
3-1 England. All right. Let's see how this weekend plays out. I think we gave everyone a lot to look forward to. I'm going to go ahead and repeat my ticket, and then I'm going to see if Greg's got any plays himself besides the one that we mutually like here. But once again, we're going to take Belgium, Canada, Croatia, Morocco. I'll get Nephew Dave to post this up on the Twitter, which is at deepend757. So get all our tickets there at deepend757. But Belgium, Canada, Croatia, Morocco at plus 700. That's the risk one, because we're going to say that Canada can do good things for us still. France and Denmark to finish 1-2. The exact order: Spain, Japan, Germany, Costa Rica. Exact order: Argentina, Mexico, Poland, Saudi Arabia. But we're going to also do a second ticket with all these same exact plays, but flip-flop: Argentina first, Poland second, Mexico third. That's the difference. Mexico, Poland, flip-flop. Saudi Arabia last. Exact order: Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia, Cameroon, and exact order of Portugal, Uruguay, South Korea, and Ghana. $10 will win you $37,000. Greg, what plays are you looking at? Anything this weekend? Anything else going into the as we head towards the knockout stage? We're about halfway there. After a couple, I think after mid-weekend, we'll be about halfway to the tournament, right? So, what are you looking at coming up?
So I think the one piece of that ticket that I'm taking out, I'm not taking out of the ticket, but I'm going to take out and play on its own, is that hedge bet where it's Argentina, Poland, Mexico, or Saudi at 1,300. I'm going to also go Argentina, Mexico, Poland, Mexico. I'm going to flip-flop the two, play them both on their own ticket and guarantee myself some money. So if you are let's say you put a $20 investment down on those two, you're going to make the 120. So I'm taking that out. I just think that's guaranteed. And that's like, I look at that as like sort of catching bait to go fish for bigger fish. So here's an interesting one I have today. It comes off at plus 386, but it'll be fun. Certainly is a fun bet. It may not be the most probable, but it's fun. And what it's going to be is you're going to have today's game, England against US. I'm looking for at plus 386, Pulisic, Kane, Sterling, and Rashford, all to have at least one shot on goal. So that makes the thing fun all throughout. Again, that's not the bet you're not going to retire off that bet, but you're going to enjoy that game the entire way because you never know when someone's going to rip a shot on goal. That'll be a fun one to watch with that. Again, plus 3, I think it's 386. Again,
I like that.
Catching
bait.
Harry
Kane.
It's Kane, Sterling, Rashford, and Pulisic all to have a shot on goal. Just one. I mean, more than one or one, So if they get that done, I see that happening. And so that'll be a fun bet to watch. I'll be looking forward to watch that. I think the other bet to make, because it's free on FanDuel, is just bet US because I think they're giving it away as a free bet on FanDuel. So bet US and have fun with that.
All right, cool. All right, good stuff. All right, we came up with a lot of good things for you guys. We'll have to come back at some point after the weekend. I'll get a good time. I'll give it out during the round robin. Me and Greg will discuss off the air when we can get back up. We'll look at the rest of the stages or the rest of the groups and the final games of the final stages of the groups before we get to the knockout rounds. Okay. So that's what we'll do. We'll come up with a plan for another show. If I can get you some recaps and briefs in the meantime, I got a good one the other night. Lost steam on that show. We just have a lot going on here for the holidays, put it that way. But we will come back with another special edition of the Friday Soccer Paycheck here sometime beginning of the week, probably Tuesday. That sounds about the right time, maybe, Greg, right? So when's the U.S. last game? Tuesday?
Yeah, they'll play Iran 2:00 on Tuesday.
Okay, maybe we'll come Wednesday and recap all that. Looking forward. We'll discuss off air. We'll get you guys a good solid time for sure. All right, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Friday Soccer Paycheck. I am Stephen Murray. We thank Mr. Greg Foley, runner of soccer leagues, referee, issuer of many red cards, soccer coach. His insight has been invaluable today. So we look to apply that and put some money in our pockets. Good luck, everyone. Water,